Hey guys, out of my property today, about to clean up my mess. I've been just stacking up crap everywhere. Sometimes I'll get off late and I won't have time to make it to the dump or the recycle plant for the concrete. So I'll just kind of throw everything here. So I've got all this dirt that I've been piling up here. I've got all this concrete. I've got it pretty much sifted out there's a little bit of wood in there, but most of it's just concrete. The wood I will eventually take out to the green waste place. But today we're gonna take all this dirt. I'm gonna put it over here. Originally when I bought this property, there was just a big berm right here that went pretty much all the way to that boat. And I dug it all out. It was full of trash, bamboo, and wood. And I've gotten rid of all that over the years. And then I built this up with all the dirt that I brought from jobs. So my plan was to build a house here. I don't know if that's ever gonna happen, but for right now, I just want more space for parking all my equipment and different junk that I pick up. So I just extended this yesterday. It only came out to here and it sloped. So I added a little bit more dirt here. So I'm gonna add more eventually out that way. But for right now, I wanna put the majority of that dirt over here. Because I built this pad up here and I wanna add all this. I wanna put dirt all the way up to these two trees so I can back my truck and trailer in right over here. And then I'll have more room over there. Speaking of junk, I picked this up just a little while ago. I'm gonna try to part it out. It's got some rust to it. This is an old Ford Courier. It's got wheels and tires that I could possibly sell. It's got some sort of axle in the back, a bunch of scrap metal. It's in decent condition. I think somebody might be able to use it for their project. Looks like it's got some Bondo at some point on it. But yeah, get this stuff unloaded. I also picked this bed up also at the same location, and it came with these big ramps. Not quite sure what I'm gonna do with the ramps, but they're free anyway, so picked them up with everything. See, I really don't have a main gig of tractor work or junk removal or anything like that. Everything's kind of just a mix. So I'll pick up boats and I'll sell them, or I'll just crush them up, sell the motors and parts off of them, then I'll sell the trailers. I'll pick up, cars and trucks like this. I'll pick up bigger stuff like that big water truck over there. I do my dirt work and tractor stuff, but I like to pick up random things and sell it. So I picked up a John Deere tractor, and I picked up this dump truck over here. It also came with this set of discs, which I listed for $1,000. I've got that box scraper over there listed for, I think, $500. I sold the tractor yesterday to a friend of mine for $500, and I've got a guy coming to pick this up at 12 for $700. So I don't like things to just stay around here for more than 30 days. This frame was dropped off. This is an old Duramax frame. I'm probably just going to send it right to the scrapyard. I'll probably pull the gas tank off because it's plastic, and I'll pull the rear end off, but the rest of it's just going right to the scrapper. I've got my Chevy Duramax truck over there frame. I really need to get off my butt and just scrap that thing. Pull some parts off of it, the transmission, rear end, and just scrap the rest of it. It's just been sitting there for 2 years now. I pulled the motor out of it and I put it in my Duramax over there, the dually. This guy's here to pick up the truck. $700. So I just sold that truck for $700. They're just gonna scrap it. So it's not possible for me to just take it to the scrapyard because you have to have a dismantler license. So I sold the truck for $700. I sold the tractor yesterday for $500. Now I still have the discs to sell, and I have the box scraper to sell. So off all the free stuff, I've made $1,200 so far. I pretty much have this all finished up. I just need to bring the rock bucket over here and sift out some of the rocks and the big logs and roots and whatever, and then take the dirt and put it over there. But for right now, I'm gonna dump all the metal out of my trailer because a lot of it's aluminum. It's windy today, so it's kind of blowing out of my trailer. And then I'm gonna sift through it, and then I've got a bunch of metal over there. There's a truck bed, another truck bed, and random crap over there. And I've got frames up front and doors and all kinds of stuff. So I'm gonna put all the lightweight tin in the bottom, and then cover the top with heavy duty frames and stuff like what I have right here. And then I've got a couple truck frames that I'm gonna stick on top because they pay you more with the frames instead of the light tin. They call it unprepared for the heavy duty metal, and they pay you more for that. It's a pretty big load of steel and aluminum, but the aluminum and the steel siding, or this is actually roofing. About to drive out and dump all this material right here. It's pretty windy. I'm hoping the wind doesn't blow all the metal away. Now I've got to go prepare the frame. I got to go take an axle and a gas tank off of it. I've got to pull this set of axles out. It's on a frame still. Pull the wheels off and throw those aside, and then separate all the aluminum from the steel. Put any lightweight tin at the bottom of the trailer, then cover the top with the frame. And the aluminum's gonna go in a separate dump hopper. And it's a hot day today. I gotta get this cab off this car and pull the motor and transmission out of it. I'm gonna give the cab to a friend so he can scrap it, but the frame, engine, transmission, all that stuff, I'm gonna take to scrapyard myself. California, we don't let anybody just take a car to the scrapyard anymore. So even with a title, you can't take it to the scrapyard. You have to have a dismantler license, which sucks. So no more doing that. This is unsafe, but it's okay. So I got a bolt here. All these bolts gotta come off. Got some catalytic converters, whatever. Put all these frame bolts off, and then we will break through the windows, lift the cab up, and start disconnecting any wiring. Now to pull the engine out of it and the transmission, remove the fuel tank, remove the wheels and tires from it, cut the catalytic converters off of it, and then scrap the rest of it. Alright, I got the engine and transmission out of this frame. I've got the axle pretty much almost out of that thing. I just have 2 bolts to actually pull out, get the gas tank off. I'm gonna put this in the dump trailer and take it to the junkyard and get rid of it. Sometimes it's a problem with these doors. Even when you hook them all the way up, sometimes they don't stay hooked up. whatever's in here bounces around and then makes the doors come undone. Alright, so before I get this all separated and sorted out, I've got the hopper bins over here. I'm going to put the aluminum in. I've got some steel over there, and I'm going to rip it all up and I'm going to throw it in the Big Tex dump trailer. So I'm going to go over there first and then do that. Alright, there are 2 frames or ramps in this truck bed here I don't want to destroy. And there's some aluminum and there's some other crap, so let's just shake it out. I want to get that plastic bed liner out of there too. Now, I don't like to scrap everything. Some things I'll try to sell. You know, I don't like to just get rid of everything. Some things, you know, are hard to come by. But I can't keep everything. Stuff does not want to come out. There we go. There's one ramp. Where's the other one? There she is. Alright. Try not to drop this on my buckets. Out of here. I'll throw this in the trash at a later time. Now, let's get this. Hopefully without everything falling out of it. Let's put it over here. I gotta rip the tires off, but I gotta get the stuff that's in the back of it out, throw it in the trailer. See if we can smash this a little bit more. pretty big mess going on right now. I'm just sorting all this stuff. But I had a job cancel on me about a month ago, and I had a job cancel on me today. So they want to push it, a month or so. I've got one other job in the works, but that's not for another week. So for right now, to make any sort of money, I'm going to go to the recycler tomorrow. So I'm just trying to get all of this stuff set through. I probably have maybe a couple $100 in aluminum, and that's not this stuff. That's this plus some other stuff. Steel wise, I probably have 300 to 500 because I've got the trailer pretty much full, and then I've got all of this steel here, the actual steel, not the aluminum, and I've got some frame over there. I've got 2 frames up front I'm going to bring to the back. I'm using my KX057 to rip the frames apart here. It's got a lot of strength. It's pretty dang strong to rip these, just rip these whole axles and stuff apart. I love ripping stuff apart with this thing. It's quite fun. I'm so glad I bought these dump hoppers that I can just put wherever I want on the property and fill them with different metals, aluminum, coppers, brass, whatever, stuff like that. It's just so much easier doing that than having to have piles of metal everywhere. scrapyard here, hoping to get 600 bucks, but who knows, might get 4 or 5. And it's sad to see a dozer in here, but whatever. All right, for that load, I made $846. So that was a lot more than I actually thought I was gonna get. I thought maybe 500, if that. So this was pretty good. Well, that does it for that video. If you like the content of the videos, please like and subscribe for future posts, and I'll catch you on the next one.